got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. And throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We are also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. I am late, and it's my fault and my fault only. But I'm here. Now I got to run back and get my computer. I'll be right back. Oh, thank you, Hassan. Hassan is getting it. Thank you. You can get involved. There's a line open at 888-77-53773. Thank you. All right. And my brand new biblical question. It is a doozy. To whom or what are you loyal and why? To whom or what are you loyal and why? Isn't that an amazing question? That is an amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you are busy out and about, laying up at the beach, trying to hitch a ride with the cartels to get over here in this country, trying to come here from China to steal our information, whatever you're trying to do. You know that Obama phones are given out at the border, so you can still call in. No, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. All right? And that's anywhere in the world, because we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And if you're black, it's everybody and they mama. But if you're white, everybody and their mother. Don't forget to follow us on JLP Talk on X. JLP Talk on X and cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. Follow, like, ring the bell, subscribe, and all those good things. All right, I do appreciate it. Man, I was rushing in here this morning. It's my fault that I was late. My staff wasn't to blame. The machine's not to blame today. It's totally on me. But better late than never. So, as some of you might know, that it is Thursday. And every Thursday we have what we call the Bible Thumper Thursday. And the purpose for it, even though we deal with all the issues, whatever your issue might be, but the purpose of Bible Thumper is that I try to afford a little bit more time for the Bible Thumpers because it's difficult to communicate with a Bible Thumper. And in that, they're so intellectual. And they have learned the Bible. And when you communicate with them about God or about the Bible or anything, it's just Bible word after Bible word, quick, no common sense responses, just Bible quoting responses. So you have to let a little bit of time to go to try to communicate with them, even though it doesn't work. It reminds me of the black Israelites or the so-called black Jews. When you try to communicate with them, they just throw out Bible stuff too, or black Bible stuff. I don't know if they're using the real Bible or the black Bible Jew thing. I'm not sure, but they just quote it too. It's just one fast word after another. And you're like, what the? So we set aside Thursday for Bible Thumper people. And today it is Thursday. So it is Bible Thumper Thursday.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of two pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't, the Pope is saying nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George God?
Holy mackerel. I can't believe you people follow a man. Put no other God before God, or you will pay the price. It's amazing. Isn't that amazing? Yes, Jesse. That is amazing. So, I run into, ever since we started the Bible Thumper Thursday, when I'm out and about now, I run into a lot of folks that want to discuss with me the Bible. They watch the show and they can't believe that we have something called the Bible Thumper. Some appreciate it because they say, well, you give me a chance to think about what I'm into, how I'm into the Bible, and then they want to ask me questions about the Bible. And so it does open up some dialogue outside, too, when I'm out and about during my day. But I want you to know that, and it's up to you, you continue to do it the way you're doing it, really. No sweat off my back. No sweat off my fro. But everything you're looking for, everything you need, everything, the real you, the real reality, the real world, it's all inside of you. And it's not on top of a mountain. It's not down in a deep valley. It's not at a building. It's not at work. It's not in being angry at your fellow man, a woman. It's not in blaming others. It's not in the Bible, in the Christian Bible, in the Jewish Bible, or in the so-called Black Israelite Jew Bible. It's not in the Mormon Bible. It's not over there, over yonder. It's totally inside of you. Isn't that amazing? Just think about that. everything that you're looking for is in you. And you look everywhere but there. It's like you have a potload of money and it's under the bed. But you look everywhere but under the bed. And people tell you, it's right there. Right where? Right there. And you don't believe it. It's not in blaming others. It's not in being mad at others. It's not in anywhere. It's all in you. Everything that you want, baby, is all in you. Anything you want, baby, is all in you. And yet, looking inside of you, it's the most difficult thing that most, not all, but that most human beings to do. It's crazy to me. That is insane to me. That the simplest thing to do is the most difficult thing for the average human being to do, and that is to look inside of themselves. Just think about that. Smoke on it, all right? But not pot. Not drugs. Smoke on it by, wondering. It's the hardest thing for the average human being to do is to look at themselves. They would rather try to hurt others than to look at themselves. They would rather be mad at others. They would rather blame others. They would rather use drugs and be revengeful and all those things, jealous and envy and strife, than to look inside, look under the bed, and see the pot of gold. Even though in the New Testament, it says, I offer you something new now. The Old Testament is over, and I offer you something new. The kingdom of heaven is within. It is done. Everything is done. It's like the bread is well done. It's finished, now you can eat it. And yet you won't eat the bread. You won't drink the water of life. You love your thrills. Every human being that has not overcome the fallen state, they love their thrills. They love their thrills of hurting others. They love their thrill of talking about others. They love the thrill of being jealous and strife and revenge. They love the thrill of feeling that they're better than someone else, that their thing is not as bad. They love the thrill of fear and doubt and worry. They love the thrill of being afraid and doubtful and worry. They love the thrill of eating, smoking drugs, doing drugs, being locked up, committing crime. They love the thrill of that. It's all about the thrill. I want you to do what you want, but I want to encourage you, pay attention to yourself and see how much you love the thrill of things. And your whole day, your whole life is about finding thrills. Without even being conscious of that's what you're doing, but you try to figure out how to get another thrill. It's all about the thrill of it, because thrills are all ego, and thrills are all evil. They're evil. When you're boxing and wrestling and working out, it's for the thrill. It's all for the thrill of it. But you tell yourself it's for something else. So you lie to yourself about the thrill of it so that you won't recognize you're doing it for the thrill. You have no love. you only have anger. Why do you think people love hating one another and blaming one another? And if you pay attention, every culture blames somebody else, another culture. Because there's a thrill in that. All for the thrill of it. You want to overcome thrills and emotions and feelings and all this mess. It's evil. God is not about thrills. He is a dispassionate God. Satan is about thrills. People get thrilled when they kill other people, murder other people, rape other people, whatever they're doing. It's a thrill behind it. And people love the thrill of loneliness. They love the thrill. You cannot take the thrill of loneliness away. You tell them, you know what? You don't have to be lonely. Loneliness is just an ego ideal. It's not even real. You tell them that, they're like, nope. And so they go to a so-called expert with a degree, and the expert tell them, it's okay to have a thrill. Make a phone call or something. It's okay to be lonely. Just make a phone call, eat the right meal, ride the bike to keep your thrill going. The thrill of loneliness. Loneliness is just an idea. It's just another false perception of life. But yet most people love their loneliness. And everybody and their mama are lonely. People get married because, I'm lonely. Did you know that? People get married. I don't want to get old and lonely. Men and women. And what they do, they try to fulfill that thrill of loneliness. They get married, and now the fight is on, and now they're getting the thrill from the fight, fighting with one another. Somebody lied to you when they told you that emotions are good. Emotions are evil. The ones that feel good and the ones that feel bad, they're both imposters. Because as soon as you come down from that one that feel good, you're feeling bad and you're on the attack. And then you get the good feeling back again, you're okay for a minute, but you're still evil. But people love the feeling of loneliness. You can sell bottles of loneliness and become a millionaire overnight. All you people who just love money, the thrill of making a lot of money, bottle up loneliness and sell it. You see what happened? ABC is reporting a new Meta Gallup survey spending, think about this and listen to this, a new Meta Gallup survey spanning 142 countries. 142 countries ask a range of ages in general, how lonely do you feel? How lonely do you feel? Nearly 1 in 4 adults across the globe feel very or fairly lonely. They love the thrill of feeling lonely. It feels like life, but it's death. It feels like life. Everybody and their mama feel lonely. Feel very or fairly lonely. You could not convince those folks that loneliness is evil. It's an illusion. It's a separation from your normal self, your natural self. They don't want to hear that. They want to go to Dr. Vivek Murphy and find a way to fulfill the loneliness, to keep it going, not to overcome it. Most people don't want to overcome their hell. I promise you that. They love the hell. And if you tell them you can overcome that hell, they'll attack you. And they'll go to a person with a degree to encourage them to keep the loneliness feeling going. Forbes has reported Dr. Vivek Murthy, the U.S. Surgeon General, released an 85-page advisory declaring loneliness a new public health epidemic in the United States. Watch this from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Watch this.
Loneliness is far more than just a bad feeling. Being socially disconnected, which can range from feeling alone to being isolated, is bad both for individual and societal health. Social connection is as fundamental to our mental and physical health as food, water, and sleep. Now is the time to invest in building social connection. This first ever Surgeon General's advisory on our epidemic of loneliness and isolation shows us how. The keys to connection are simple. Answer a phone call from a friend. Invite someone over to share a meal. Listen and be present during conversation. Seek out opportunities to serve others. These steps may seem small, but they're extraordinarily powerful.
Wow, that's evil, bad, nasty, wrong advice concerning loneliness. Send that man back to India. He's a Cherokee. This is why we don't need these foreigners in our country. They are intellectual, evil nutcases giving you the wrong advice to keep you in the hell with them. Intellectual people are evil, and they have no answers. That's the worst advice that man could ever give out. Send him back to India. He's a Cherokee. My father married us in Cherokee. My mother people were ashamed of me. If you try that advice and do what you want, it's up to you. I'm not giving whatever. But as long as you try what he just said, you're going to stay in your loneliness. And you're going to be miserable because you can make all the phone calls, you can do all the services that you want, you can do all the this that you want and that. When you're by yourself, loneliness is going to smack you right in the face and make you feel even worse. Because everything he suggests that you do for loneliness is keeping the spirit of evil alive. You want to die from that ego feeling spiritually. And if you know intellectual Christians and intellectual secular people have no real answer for spiritual issues. They have no understanding. They only have intellectual knowledge, and knowledge is evil. It keeps you in hell. Look at the people with degrees, master degree, PhD, psychologists, sociologists, sciences, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, dumb as a doorknob. And they put on all these fancy titles to their names, and you trust the title. You'll walk right in blind, walk right into the person with the master degree or a double master, a double PhD, and you walk out even blinder. You got to overcome the world. You cannot, if you want to have perfect peace, you cannot live as the world. You can live in it, but not of it. If you want peace. If not, stay in your hell. Because that's where you are. A lonely person is in hell. An emotional person is in hell. Look at the women who are women, and I say women because they promote emotions. And the reason they're promoting it as good, because they are miserable and they're trying to bring every human, every soul they can into hell with them. every soul that they can pour down into hell. Why do you think they promote it as good, knowing that they are miserable? And the men walk right into hell with them, being emotional. Being emotional. Satan is the woman's god. The god below, which is Satan, is the woman's god. And the god above, which is God, true God, is the man's god. Until the woman overcome it. Until she go and forgive her mother, as well as the guys, and return to their fathers. You're going to be lonely. Oh, you're going to be lonely. And you're going to look outside for the answers. Everything you want, your freedom, your peace, is inside of you. It's not out there. It's just not out there. It's not in alcohol. It's not in anything. It's not in the biggest house on the hill. It's not in the most money. It's not in the popularity. It's none of those things. And yet you pay buku money and you long for it. It is in wisdom and understanding. As Proverbs 4 says, wisdom is the principal thing. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get an understanding. What can I understand about this situation? What can I understand about it? Not what I can get from it, but what can I understand from it? Once you get the understanding, you are free. Because understanding only comes from God. Not the God below, but the God above. No human being can give you understanding. No, nothing but God can give you understanding. But you got to seek understanding. You got to seek wisdom, men and women. And if you fail to be still and know, which is called prayer, being aware, if you fail to pray and your soul get lost and nobody fault but yours. If you fail to pray and your soul get lost, it's nobody's fault but yours. I wouldn't wait too long either. I wouldn't wait all day. You can wait so long until you won't be able to find your way back home. You can travel so far down the wrong road that you'll forget the right road and you won't be able to find your way back home. What a sad commentary, huh? You don't have a free will. You're not on your own. You never made a decision in your whole entire life, and you never will. You don't know what you want. You can't make yourself overcome. Of yourself, you can do nothing. Stop playing the game with yourself. Stop dancing with the devil. And ain't nobody to blame but you as an adult. Ain't nobody to blame but you. I'm not responsible for your life. Nobody else is but you. Be of good courage. Get on that straight and narrow path alone and stay there no matter what. Don't let anyone distract you from it. Don't look left, don't look right, don't look forward, don't look behind. You'll see. If I decide to take the notion and jump in the ocean, ain't nobody business if I do. Yeah. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Bible thumper. You can lay your weapons down and the fight is over. You really can. And let God fight your battles for you, and he really will. You just don't trust it. You trust the devil way of encouraging you to fight. And 99.999.99, no, but 0.999.9% of the time, you're blaming others. You can always tell a blind person they're always blaming. A free person, don't blame, because they can see and understand that it ain't nobody else's problem but your own. Everybody else have their own problems, and they're blaming too. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, as a witness, because I used to fight all the time, so I know what fighting is, right? I used to protest, I used to argue, ain't nothing new. But when I understood that I can lay my weapon down and give up the fight, I'm like, what the? Really? And when you're fighting, and the people you're fighting with, they love fighting with you and against you. It's all for the thrill of it. It's not like they're agreeing with you. They're just in hell with you, and they love the thrill. It's up to you. Announcement, the Hake report coming up at 9 a.m. this morning, and James Hake is on fire. He's one white guy that's not afraid. He just had that good hair for nothing. From 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. From 12 until however long he want to go. Check it out. He's on fire as well. Flying high, but not off pot. A natural high. Energy on loan from God. The American Anchor Baby. All right? Amazing. Look, folks. And the real, it's Bible Thumper Thursday. One reason I'm telling you all this, but I counsel with people every day. And all different races, male and females, young and old, It's all the same. They're miserable. And everybody is looking for something to help them overcome. But when you offer most people the truth of overcoming, they don't want that. They want something else that doesn't require anything of them. They don't want to have to travel this path alone. They don't want to have to look at themselves and admit it's all in them and nobody else. It's on them. That a monster is held around them, that they could be free. That takes too much work. They don't want to have to be aware enough to overcome the thrills. They don't want to put in any kind of work. They just want to go down to the front of the church and claim Jesus as Lord and Savior. Jesus died on the cross, and he rose again, and I'm free. Hallelujah. I'm born again. They're lying. Or I'm going to some master degree person or PhD, and they come out as dumber than what they went and lonelier than what they went in there with. They have double loneliness on them now. The answer is in you. It's not in someone else. And if that someone else has found the true answer, they're going to point you back to yourself. They're not going to try to save you. They're not going to do anything because they see that they can't even save themselves. They'll point you back to the source that will save you. From your hell, from your thrills, from your loneliness, which is a thrill. All for the thrill of it. Just think about when a guy and a girl meet. What's the first thing they get? It's a thrill. And the devil tells them, that's love. And they start lying to themselves. Oh, I love you, you love me, I love you too. And then they get together while rather moving in or living together, married, and the fight is on. Because that first thrill they got of excitement, feeling good, it's gone. Now they're fighting for that thrill back, and all they get is anger thrill, which is the same. All thoughts and all emotions are evil. Now, you can believe the world if you want and stay with it. It's totally up to you. God and his son, Jesus, would just sit up there, even though they're inside you too. But they'll sit up there and they have some cafe mocha. What's the name of those donuts you guys will tell me about, you and Joel?
Maple bars.
They have maple bars.
Oh, no, apple fritters.
Apple fritters, maple bars, donut with some amazing coffee. And they'll just be watching you. They have a big screen TV, bigger than the one that's behind me. And they'll just sit there, relax, watching you, loving your hair. And then in the evening, they'll put on TV and they'll watch a little news. And they'll look at the children who are lost, knowing that the way has been made for them. But they won't take that way. How many people are taking a straight and narrow path? What is that? I want the wide road, they say, that leads to destruction. I don't want no narrow path. I want to go with the crowd. I want to join the group. I get a false sense of feeling in the group. Look at the educated people. They cannot stand alone. Look at the Bible thumpers. They cannot stand alone. They must hang out with other Bible thumpers and get a false feeling. And when the Bible thumper is not around and verify their own Bible thumping, they get lonely. And they call the Bible thumper up and they Bible thump all night. I set before you life and death. Choose life. It's up to you. It's so interesting how it's up to you. You can climb over your mountain and go free, or you can stay in a little small prison cell of your mind and rotate around like a rat, getting the same answer, same suggestion, same solution, while staying in your little rat hole, spinning around, going in circles. You got me going in circles, round and around I go. You got me going in circles. All for the thrill of it. Get over your thrills. Anyway, let me go to Danny out of Bulgaria. Danny, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good day, Mr. Peterson. Hope you're doing well, sir.
All is well, Danny. I hope the same for you.
It is. Mr. Peterson, you have a remarkable biblical question, and I'd like to answer it. And if I have but a moment, I would also want to say something about saving money when living with your parents.
To whom or what are you loyal and why?
I was raised to be loyal only to God by my parents. And what I mean by that is that you said it brilliantly a few times. They asked you said that God made the rules a very long time ago. He's not going to change them. So the rules are there, and just live by them. Go to the forgiveness, the ego, and everything, and just live your life. This is loyalty to God, because you're doing what He wants. And that's how I was raised by my father and my mother. Not to be of course, you have to have respect for country and family and everything, but not exactly loyalty, because family members and country and everything, that can go crazy. And you have to be able to see this craziness and to navigate towards it, and to avoid the problems that are coming with this craziness.
And so when you were growing up, you heard the word loyal from your family. They said, be loyal to God.
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Oh, amazing.
So,
well, I appreciate you.
How I was raised.
I'm sorry?
Yes. Go ahead. I apologize for interrupting you.
No problem. I appreciate you responding to the biblical question. And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise.
Right on. And if I have but a moment, may I share a few very interesting examples about living with your parents or grandparents in order to save money?
Okay.
Mr. Peterson, I have noticed that every person, like you always say, not all, but most, every single person that lives with their parents or grandparents to quote-unquote save money is remarkably miserable. First of all, you're not saving money because, if you are there, the outcome is increasing. You have to buy specific food, you have to do specific things for them, and sometimes it's more of a frustrating. I have a lot of classmates who, got girlfriends or boyfriends, and they moved with their grandparents, or grandmother, actually, because she already killed the grandfather with the tail that's from her. And now she has, like younger versions. Those people are miserable. They have to pay for grandma's medicine. Grandma has to eat special food, which is more expensive. You're not saving money at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a 32-year-old man. I eat when I'm hungry. I sleep when I'm sleepy. And life is good. Just do whatever you have to. And one step at a time. But you're definitely not saving money at all while living with your parents or your grandparents. The only thing you're saving is, a seat in hell. And you don't need that.
Any parent that tells their adult child, well, not child, but adult person, male or female, to stay home so you can save money, what they're really saying is stay home, I hate you, and I want to make sure you don't develop. I want to make sure you don't grow into manhood or womanhood, so stay home and save money. It's a setup. And that parent or grandparent that's doing it, they're doing it for their own personal gain, for the thrill of it. The thrill that somebody My child is at home taking care of me. It's a sign of hatred and not love at all. It's so unfortunate.
Have you noticed that most of the time, like 90% of the time, stay home to save some money? That comes from the mother or from the grandmother. It rarely comes from the father or the
Right, absolutely. And unfortunately, though, there are some fathers who are still with the mother, and the mother encourages the adult person to stay home, male or female, to stay home. And the father he's too weak and scared to tell the mother, that ain't happening. My son, my daughter is out on their own. They ain't leaving here. You're not going to stifle their growth. He would let it happen because he become the child and his wife has become his mother.
And the craziness is that they're not even saving money at all. Like not a single, you can't even save anything.
Right.
So it is indeed crazy. With that said, Mr. Peterson, I know how busy you are. Kind regards to your colleague and your viewers. Thank you for taking the call, and God be with you, sir.
Thank you, Denny, and I appreciate you responding to the biblical question.
Right on. Have a nice day, sir.
You too, buddy. 888-7753-773. There's a line open. Let me go to a first-time caller out of Maine. Joe out of Maine. Joe, you're on the air.
Jesse, good morning. How's it going?
All is well, Joe.
I don't know if you heard about what's going on in Lewiston, Maine. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I saw where some guy went into a bowling alley, I believe, and he, according to the report, he shot up some people.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They haven't found him yet?
No, they haven't found him. And what's even more amazing is that this summer he was in a mental health facility for hearing voices in his head. It's just crazy seeing all these things as on my journey to the light and seeing all these things happening in front of me.
Well, this is going to happen more and more, and it's going to get worse and worse because they are now they're calling possession of evil, they're calling it mental health. So they're covering up the fact that it's evil. The voices in your head are evil, and then they're giving people drugs and free drugs and all kind of drugs now. So it's going to only get worse and not better.
Exactly, and it's funny how you were talking about this morning about seeking help from a PhD, in which he did get that. It's pretty amazing.
Your phone went out. I didn't hear what you said.
I said it's pretty amazing how this morning you're talking about seeking help from a PhD, in which this man did, and he didn't get the help he was needing.
Yeah, because the help, you're not going to get help by giving people physical advice. They need spiritual advice. They need to know how to overcome the thoughts and emotions and return to the Father. Nothing else is going to work but that. You must be born again from the abnormal nature, which is anger, to the normal nature, which is the nature of God. Nothing else is going to work but that.
Absolutely. And seeing everyone's angry responses to this man, just seeing they're living in the same hell.
Yes, absolutely.
They're living in the same hell as this man, the way they're responding to the situation.
That is such a good point, Joe, because you're going to hear a lot, and I've heard a lot of news reporters and others who are reporting on the incident. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Poor. They are as evil as the person that they are reacting to. It's all the same spirit. It's all evil.
Yep.
Amazing.
Well, it is amazing. Jesse, thank you so much for everything you do. I'm appreciative to you.
Well, you're welcome, man. And stay with it, Joe. Stay with it. Stay with it. It becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. You haven't seen anything yet if you stay on that straight and narrow path.
Absolutely. Hey, we're waiting for the Great White Hope and the Great Black Hope interview. When can we get that?
It's coming soon, I hope.
All right. All right. Have a good one, Jesse.
You too, Joe. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Amazing. He's right. Emotional people are evil people. Your daddy, your mama, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your children, anyone that has anger, and all people do until they overcome it, they go and forgive. But anyone that has anger, you could bank on it. They will become your enemy. Well, not really yours, but they'll make you their enemy. And if you don't call it your enemy, it's not your enemy. You're your own enemy within. What a mess. There's a line open at 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Super chat. Super.
Karen Williams bought you 10 coffees. I think this was yesterday, saying hi with a waving emoji.
Hi. This is how they wave on a parade wagon.
You have to put your fingers together. Yeah.
Why did they tell the people to wave like that?
I don't know.
That's a robot.
Priscilla from Houston bought 3 coffees. Jesse, listen to the song Mother by John Lennon. I keep asking you to listen. I'm not going to ask if you remember to listen to it. Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank you, Priscilla.
I did send it to him.
You sent me the song?
Yeah.
Resend it today. And I'll listen today, Priscilla. And I don't want to make up any excuses, but the reality is I'm so busy. And I forgot.
Damien bought you.
I will listen. James, resend it today.
All right. Damien bought you a coffee. I know you. Have
you heard the song?
I have not.
Have you heard the song, Sean?
No, I don't think so.
Not Sean. I'm sorry. Sean said no, my producer, but I meant Hassan.
I don't think I've heard Mother.
Oh, you haven't?
But I love John Lennon.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, where's John Lennon now?
Imagine.
He's looking up at heaven. Is there a song called Looking Up at Heaven? Hassan, you should make that song, Looking Up at Heaven.
Let's go.
Thank you. I definitely will, but go ahead with that super chat you're reading.
Damien's the one who bought you 5 coffees, saying, I love you. Not going to judge you for this one, but everything you said about Judeo-Christians is in all Abrahamic religions, not just Judeo-Christians, also Islam.
You read that yesterday.
I know, but he has a follow-up saying, I know you said you love the spirit of Israel, not necessarily the current politics and people of Israel.
I love the people of Israel, too. But I'm not when I was growing up, we were not into politics like that, right? My folks were not. And so they taught us the spirit of Israel and the relationship between Judaism and Christianity. It's the spirit of it. But I love the Jewish people, too. What's up?
Coffee Talk with Sandra. This is last.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
The last of yesterday's Super Chats. Coffee Talk with Sandra says, Jesse, all about that rhyme.
And reasons. Thank you.
Being enlightened till I rise this morning. Bible Thumper, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Monthly subscriber over on Rumble. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I got to take a break. Thank you all for your super chats. 2 more hours to go. 2 more hours to go. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, and I'll be back in a moment. I made it. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, and individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they will become it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. Mass murder in Maine. Colorado gone ridiculous against Trump. And the Israel-Palestine war drama continues. This is the end of Hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Bible Thumper Thursday, October 26th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 2. JLP will be right back to your calls and more great stories. But first, Hake News, not fake news. Call Me Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, report mass murder in Lewiston, Maine. Last night, police said at least 16 died after 2 mass shootings, one at a bowling alley and another at a restaurant bar in Lewiston, Maine's second largest city. Never heard of it, but it's 36 miles north of Portland, Maine. At least 50, maybe 60 others injured. There was a manhunt for a 40-year-old male person of interest, considered armed and dangerous. Police said the state bulletin called him a firearms instructor, and they believed him to be a member of the Army Reserve. Police urged residents in Lewiston and two neighboring towns, to shelter in place and lock their doors. Maybe they live in an area where you don't normally have to lock your doors. The Black on the Inside White House stated that Biden offered full federal support in the wake of this horrific attack. Public schools closed in Lewiston today. Senator Susan Collins, Rhino female from Maine, said our state mourns. And Senator Angus King, an independent from Maine, said he's deeply sad for the city of Lewiston. The U.S. has seen more than 500 mass shootings this year for your gun violence propaganda. No such thing as gun violence. And persecution of the president and the American people. CNN reports that an unprecedented trial will begin in Colorado next week to determine if our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, is disqualified from returning to the White House and make it white on the inside again because of his role in the January 6th, 2021 insurrection. Several pending lawsuits trying to derail his candidacy based on the 14th Amendment, whatever that is, which says U.S. officials who take an oath to uphold the Constitution are disqualified from future office if they engaged in insurrection or have given aid or comfort to insurrectionists. What a mess. Speaking of insurrection, how about all those evil people supporting Black Lives Matter, including Mitt Romney, by the way. And the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, report on the Israel-Palestine drama. And CNN does too. The war is entering its 20th day today, or is already well into it. Israel is calling for the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to resign after he said Hamas's deadly October 7th terror attack did not happen in a vacuum. Duh. Israel said that it won't be issuing any more visas to UN officials, even as the UN has played a role in mediating the dispute between Israelis and Palestinians. A whole lot of help they've been, huh? And Al Jazeera said the wife, son, daughter, and grandson of one of its correspondents, Wael al-Dadaou, in Gaza, were killed during an Israeli airstrike. The news comes as Secretary of State Antony Blinken has reportedly asked the Qatari government, Qatar, which funds the news outlet, to pull back Al Jazeera's coverage of the conflict, saying it could further inflame tensions in the region. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu said Wednesday that a ground incursion into Gaza will take place, and airstrikes were just the beginning. The humanitarian crisis reaches a critical point in Gaza with life-saving fuel. Wait, I thought that fuel was killing the planet. I guess it's saving lives. On the verge of running out, though, when health service is crippled in Gaza, U.S. military advisors urged Israel to avoid an all-out ground assault in Gaza, pressure building on the international community to get Israel to allow desperately needed aid to the besieged enclave. A growing number of countries also advocating for a humanitarian pause in fighting as Israel ramps up its airstrikes, fears that the crisis could escalate further. Make sure you catch the Hake Report after the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, thehakereport.com. I have a guest today. Dylan Burns is coming back. Nice. And, of course, American Anchor Baby. I heard he had a great show yesterday, and he'll be back today at noon Pacific time. American Anchor Baby on YouTube and Rumble. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth. Popping and cracking audio, says chat. I thought they had fixed that problem.
No, it's an ongoing issue.
It is?
It's a minor issue, but it's an ongoing minor issue.
There's no such thing as a minor issue. An issue is an issue is an issue. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson, looking for an engineer. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved. There are 2 lines right now open if you want to jump in there. Why y'all call it a minor issue? No one will never get repaired. 888-775-3773. 888-77-JESSE. I'm yelling at my staff because they got that popping that's been going on for a while, and they call it a minor issue. As long as they dress it up, it's never going to get repaired. What the? 888-775-3773. 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. My biblical question. To whom or what are you loyal and why? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
To whom or what are you loyal and why? Amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you are busy doing what you're doing or doing nothing and you just can't sit and watch the show right now, you can podcast later, but you can listen on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. To donate and have your comments read out loud, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. It's Thursday. It's the second hour of the show today. It is Bible Thumper Thursday. Bible Thumper!
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of 2 pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the 2nd Catholic president.
The Pope is like me. If you don't. They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George, God?
Holy mackerel. I can't believe you people follow a man. I have decided to follow Jesus. That's a song, by the way. All right, 888-775-3773. What does it mean, a minor issue? Does that mean to accept
No, it means that you should continue the show.
Oh, rather than a replay.
Yeah.
Are you sleepy?
Do I look sleepy?
Either you look sleepy or you've been smoking pot. What shit with you?
Neither.
Why your eyes are so red and watery?
Are they red and watery?
Yeah.
Oh, they do feel warm when I close my eyes.
I close my eyes.
I didn't put my usual eye drops.
Only for a moment, and the moment's gone. Dust in the wind. You didn't put your eye drop in?
Yeah.
And why not?
I don't know. I was in a terrible rush.
That's a minor issue.
Exactly.
Your eye sleeping like you're looking high is a minor issue.
Whatever.
Amazing. Let me go to Jason out of Canada. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey.
Hey, Jason.
I wanted to talk to you because I've been a mess for quite a while.
In what way are you a mess?
Because I've been drinking. Because I feel like I'm the worst person in the world.
And describe that feeling.
It feels like I've done more harm than good. Basically, this is what I feel.
And you've done more harm than good. In what way? Are you able to give me an example of doing harm?
Well, no.
It's just a feeling?
No, I know for a fact. But, when we do bad, we don't want to talk about it, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah. You're right.
I've been listening to you, and I've been trying to be better, but I can't do it.
And your question for me is what?
How can I get better if I know in my heart that I can't?
Well, the beginning, Jason, of getting better is to know in your heart that you can't do it. None of us can change ourselves. We can't change the old nature to a new nature, natural nature.
But I've been trying, and it doesn't work.
Well, stop trying. Here's how you work on yourself. You got to drop the anger so you can overcome the thoughts. Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Yes, I did, and I tried everything.
Are you doing the silent prayer? Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
I tried.
Are you doing it every morning, every night?
No.
You're not? Jason, if you want to get better, and you got my word on it, if you want to get better, you got to do the silent prayer so God can bring you out of thoughts, out of your imagination. Because the only problem that you're having right now is that you believe what the thoughts are telling you, and that's what's keeping you in the darkness like that. All thoughts are all lies all the time, and they are making you judge yourself because, in all honesty, Jason, in all honesty, you have never done anything wrong, period, in your whole life. It's impossible for you to do wrong. You've never done anything wrong, but something that made a home and you did it, and you're taking the credit for it because you think that is you.
Well, maybe, but doing right is scary for me.
What do you mean doing right is scary? Can you give me an example of what doing right is and that you're afraid of?
Because I believe that if I was right and I was a good person, then it would go against everything, right?
It would.
It would go. Yeah,
But
it would.
But
I know that it would.
Right, but it's going against everything that you're not. Good, being good and doing good is going against being evil and doing evil, and evil
But I
doesn't.
failed so many times, you know.
You failed so many times.
I wanted to be good. I wanted to be a good person.
Well, I'm telling you how to do it. You got to overcome thoughts.
I know.
Why don't you stick with the silent prayer and do it every morning and every night? Because you're on the right track. You want it. You realize you can't do it yourself. You want to be right. You want to be good, but you can't do it of yourself. Why not do the silent prayer and stay with it so the Spirit of the God would take you over, and He would change your nature?
Yeah.
Why don't you stay with the prayer?
Because I'm brainwashed by all of the stuff that's going around.
I know, I understand that, but you can overcome it. And that thing that is afraid of being good, that's not you. That's the spirit of evil, afraid of having to depart from your body, and it overreacts. It gives you different sensations and feelings. It's not you at all. It doesn't want the light to shine on it. So stop identifying with it and calling it
I
you.
feel like I've already been through all that stuff, and it doesn't help.
You've been through all what stuff?
I feel like I've been already. I tried.
Are you able to call my office and I can counsel with you in private?
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll call my office and I can counsel with you. I'll show you how to. If you stay with it, Jason, I promise you that you're going to overcome evil, and you're going to see that you've never done anything wrong. You're not guilty. It was never you, and you're calling evil you, and it's not you.
I know.
So stop calling yourself that, because it's not you. Have you been drinking today?
Yes.
So are you drunk right now?
Yes.
Can you call the show or counsel when you're not drunk?
No.
Why not? Are you drunk 24 hours a day?
No, because I'm always too afraid of calling.
Too afraid of what?
I have fear in my heart, and when I'm not drunk, I don't want to call.
Oh, I understand that. What would happen if you called when you're not drunk? What do you think would happen? I understand what you're saying, but what do you think going to happen if you call either for counseling or on the show when you're not drunk? What would happen?
I would show the best version of myself, which, for some reason, I don't want to show.
And you don't even know what the best version of yourself is yet.
I know.
So you can't show it if you don't know what it is.
Of course. But
the problem is it's difficult for me to help you if you're drunk already.
Right.
And you got to face that fear of not being drunk, and you got to face it, shaking your boots, go through it, and then you'll be fine. You won't need the drink to escape.
But it seems like everything is so hopeless.
I know, but it's not. It's only hopeless when you're trying to change yourself. But if you're not trying to change yourself, and you know that, then it's not hopeless at all. It's only hopeless for the angry person. It's not hopeless.
I've been angry all my life.
Every human being has. Absolutely. And that's the problem. Because anyone that has anger is evil. Satan is their God. But you got to do the silent prayer, Jason, and you got to try to call when you're not drunk. You can get drunk right after the call, but not before.
Well, I've been.
What do you drink? What type of alcohol?
I've been drinking wine and beer.
Oh, amazing. So here's what I recommend, Jason, because it's difficult to help you when you're drunk, and the evil one knows that. That's why he calls you to get drunk and then call. I want you to call me when you're not drunk. Will you give it a try?
Would I be able to? This is the question that I have in my mind. You know, it feels like it won't happen.
That you'll be able to call when you're not drunk?
Yeah.
You feel like that won't happen? Why do you feel that way?
Because I want things to be good, but I understand that I can't be good because...
How old are you?
27.
Wow, I didn't know you were that young. Here's what I want you to do, man. I'm encouraging you to do. Don't listen to the thought that tell you need to get drunk before you call. Don't listen to it and see what happens. This one time, don't listen to the thoughts and see what happens.
I tried to do that.
We'll try it again.
I really tried.
I understand, but try it again. Do the silent prayer and try it again. Do you take any drugs or anything?
Sometimes.
What type of drugs you do?
Only marijuana.
Oh, okay. Well, Jason, it's time that you start facing your fears rather than running away from them, and you're gonna see that it was never you. But you gotta be afraid. You gotta shake in your boots. The voices in the head gotta go mad, but you gotta face it. Then you will overcome it. You can't. If you want to be free, you gotta stop running from it and run toward it and take it. Then you will overcome it.
I know. And this is a problem. I do know, but it feels like there's nothing I can do. I know exactly what's going on. I know what is the problem with me and with everybody else, but there's nothing I can do. This is what.
That's why you give up and you do the silent prayer and let the Spirit of God take over completely, and He will fight the battle for you. He really, really will. He's just waiting on you to let go and let Him take over. And that applies.
What will become of me, right?
You say what now?
What will become of me?
You will become free. You will have perfect peace on earth. And this thing that you think is you will disappear because it's not you. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not the alcohol. You're not a loser. You're not a failure. All those things are not you. And those things will disappear, and the real you will come forth, and you can live your life. You don't know who you are yet. Those things are not you.
everyone is that way. So
100%. But there are men
so
and women.
why would I be any different?
But there are men and women who are overcoming it. They're overcoming everything we just talked about, and they're starting to discover who they really are and who they're not. They thought too that they were just what you said, but that's just a lie. That's a setup from evil.
I know. The problem is, I know.
So why don't you?
And yet, I still do the wrong thing.
I understand. And again, it's not you doing the wrong thing. Stop identifying with it. It is doing the wrong thing through you. It's not you. Can you repeat that, what I just said?
I was not doing anything wrong. I was being controlled.
Absolutely. So stop saying, I do wrong, I have done wrong. You have not done wrong. But when you say I, you identify with the devil, you identify with evil, and you're calling it you, and identify with it, you're giving it life. But if you didn't identify with it, it would die. It will have to leave your body.
But when we talk about the stuff, in our body and mind, it is us, but yet it's not. So I guess I don't understand it.
Well, do the silent prayer so you can get an understanding, all right?
Okay.
Do the silent prayer and call me and I want you to do it every morning, every night, and then call me and let me know what you think about it.
I wanted to do that,
all right.
But I failed.
Well, go back to it. No such thing. Go back to it. Don't give up. Just go back to it. Every time you stop, go back to it. And you'll see the light of God will start to guide you, all right? Don't give up on it, Jason.
I won't.
All right. Do the prayer. Let me know how it goes.
Sure. I'll call you.
Yeah, and don't let the devil tell you, oh, you're not doing it, you're failing. That's a lie. Just go back to it. That's all. You'll be fine.
I've been failing so many times.
That's all right.
And I know that you're right.
Well, just knowing that will keep you on the right track. So go back to it. If you fail 1,000 times, you go back to it 1,000 times, all right?
Okay.
Let me know how it goes, Jason.
I hope that I will.
All right, and if you can, try to give me a call just before you take the first drink.
Before I take the first drink?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, buddy. I wish you well, Jason.
Well, that wouldn't be possible because my first drink was quite a while ago, so I wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, how about call me tomorrow before you take the first drink?
Okay.
All right.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you take the first drink tomorrow, call me.
All right.
All right, buddy.
We'll see.
And go do the prayer. Let me know how it goes. Do it today, tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow too.
All right.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Goodbye.
It's amazing how the devil lied to human beings and tell them that it's them. And they believe it. I totally understand it. But it's not you. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Kevin out of New York. Kevin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey.
How's it going?
All is well, Kevin.
Oh, cool. It's really awesome to catch you on Bible Thumper Thursday.
Bible Thumper Thursday.
Yes. And wow to the last call and everything. You know, I really wish him well that he can return to his real self.
Yeah, he will if he stays with it.
Yes, absolutely. Just like I had told the, I was going to say call screener, but Sean, you know, thank you for all that you do, I want to say, first of all. And that, just like I told him, I agree with 99% of what you say. Like, it's really right on. But the 1% that I respectfully disagree with you about,
okay,
and wanted to talk to you about was, is it really necessarily a bad thing to be a Bible thumper?
Yeah. It's bad, Kevin. It keeps you in hell.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about because, you know, it would be really naive and foolish for me to say that I haven't clearly seen that when people, I guess, are in that category of Bible thumper, they become puffed up.
Yeah.
They become arrogant.
They become evil.
You know what I mean? Yes. But here's the thing with me. Even while thinking about what I was going to talk to you about, I was going to say that I haven't allowed that to happen to me. But instead, I want to say that I believe that God hasn't allowed that to happen to me. And even though I guess you could probably call me a Bible thumper.
And how do you know? How do you know it hasn't happened to you as a Bible thumper?
Because just like I just talked to you about, like, I don't feel puffed up. I don't feel arrogant for realizations that I've come to while, say, researching the Bible. And if there ever comes a need for me to really point out something in the Bible to someone else, I know that it's because of God, and that I'm not reliant on my own understanding of it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Then why do you call yourself a Bible thumper?
Oh, because I constantly make reference to it. I know we were eventually probably going to get to this, but what it's done for me was just to give me more understanding, in the sense to where, and I hate to jump around a lot, but I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The understanding that has brought me is something like this, that your crew, what you've done and said is the embodiment of John the Baptist in the Bible. The reason why I say that is because you know how people mistaken John the Baptist as the Messiah and asked him, what does he say of himself then if he's not the Messiah? He's the one who declared that he is the one who should make his way straight before his coming.
But the Bible can't give you understanding. You can't get understanding from the Bible. Can you hold for a minute? Let me take a quick break.
Yes, I can hold.
888-7753-773. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, folks, welcome back. 888-7753-773. We're going to get to everybody and their mama. It's Bible Thumper Thursday. Brand new episode of The Fallen State. Let me update my package so I can see the name of the person. I forgot the name. What the? Brand new episode of The Fallen State tomorrow at 12 noon. Friday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. I had an amazing conversation with Kosher Deals. And Kosher is a Jewish rapper, entertainment, best known for his appearance on MTV's Wild and Out. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Can you give me an example of Jewish rapping?
Schmoozing, bottles are bubbly. I know you love me. Jewish kids really appreciate black culture. My mother's family was killed in the Holocaust. My father's family was killed in the Holocaust. Bigotry and hatred are diseases. Sort of grow like a cancer.
Do you love white people?
Huh? Oh wait, I couldn't hear it. Sorry.
Or do you support the Great White Hope?
If he went to jail, would you visit him?
I pick cotton for him.
What you gotta do, man? I don't know.
You put on your little Jew hat.
I have an interesting shaped head.
Oh. The Fallen State tomorrow, Friday at 12 noon. It was so interesting. It was amazing. So check it out. And don't forget for personal shout-outs. Personal shout-outs. Encouragement, anniversaries, birthdays, weddings, whatever the occasion is, I do them for you. Go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And by the way, shout out to Justice. I had a very interesting discussion with her yesterday about the woman at the well. Remember I told you the story of this woman going to the well? And when she went there, Jesus was there. And Jesus was trying to play with her, talk to her, hang out. And she's like, no, you can't hang out with me. I'm a bad person. I forgot the word they use. I'm a bad person. And Jesus like, I don't care about that. And she's like, no. And she's like, give me some water. She's like, no, I can't give you water. You can't drink from the cup of bad people. And Jesus told her that he had the real water for her. The water, the spring of water that lasts forever. He said, but those who drink the water I give will never be thirsty again. It become a fresh, bubbling spring within them. That is so true. Within them. Give them eternal life. And the woman was like, no, not me. I'm no good. I've done so many bad things. And Jesus like, I already know you. She like, what the? And then Jesus started telling her about herself. You've been married 3 or 4 times. Your first marriage didn't work out. The second marriage, because she was bad in the first marriage, I guess. She was slut or something. And the second marriage didn't work out because the man was bad, a slut maker. And then the third marriage, she's like, what the? You don't know me. I just told you all about you. And then she believed in him, and she was cleared of all her mental, emotional, thought life hell. And Justice and I were talking about that. And she asked me about Jesus being God. She still believes Jesus is God because he's taught that way, I guess. But Jesus is not God, folks. That's another lie that's being told you. And as long as you believe that lie, you're not going to know the Father. You're not going to know him because you think the Son is the Father. Shout out to Justice. There's the Father, God. There is the Son, Jesus. And there is the Holy Spirit, the teacher, sent to you by God, part of his nature. Just like the real you, if you ever overcome the false you, you're going to see that the real you is part of God's nature. And you will be one with the Father, and it will be amazing. Anyway, let me go quickly back to Kevin. Kevin said he's a Bible thumper. And Kevin,
Hey,
do you read the Bible every day?
No, not every day.
How often do you read it?
Probably 2 to 3 days a week.
And why do you read it so much?
Only because I think it's so interesting to me. That's all.
Oh, I see. And do you want to overcome being a Bible thumper, or you like being a Bible thumper?
You know, that's a really good question, because even though I'm here talking about it, you know, I don't identify as a Bible thumper.
But you told me you were a Bible thumper.
Yeah, only because I know that because of how I talk, people would consider me that way. Which is something that I've worked to overcome too, in a sense that not even worrying about what people would say about me. You know what I'm saying?
And how have you worked to overcome that? What have you done to overcome that?
The silent prayer.
Okay.
You know, because you've really helped me out, Jesse. And even with all this knowledge, I know that I wouldn't have yet quite been on my way unless I realized that I need to go forgive my parents.
And you've done
that? You know what
that?
I'm saying? Yes.
And how was it? How did it go?
Oh, well, even though I went ahead and forgave my father, you know what I mean? That was much more of an easy process than with my mother and everything, because my mother just cried through the whole thing. But
she would cry because you were about to leave hell and leave her in there?
Yeah, you could definitely say that. You know, and then, but my whole dispute over the Bible thumper thing, it made me realize a possible second disagreement, or maybe just a question, that is knowledge really bad? Because the reason why I asked that is because, I mean, I feel like I would have never came to that realization that I needed to forgive my parents unless I was first presented with it through the process of knowledge. You know what I mean?
Well, you were presented with knowledge. You're right. You got the knowledge first, but if you hold on to the knowledge, you would never get the wisdom. You would never know. You would never understand. But if you let knowledge go, and then understanding and wisdom will come. But most people get stuck in the knowledge of God. They get the knowledge of good and evil. And the knowledge of good and evil is evil.
Wow. Wow, that just blew my mind. It really did. It's just that simple. It's that simple then.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yes. One more thing, Jesse. The reason why I brought up John the Baptist, I'll try to make this quick, only because I think that you guys will think it's interesting. You, your crew, those people who return to the Father are the embodiment of John the Baptist, only because of what he declared. You know what I mean? How he declared that for an individual to make his way straight is what happens to us spiritually when we return to the Father. And then the other thing that he declared, how he was the one crying out in the wilderness. You know, it's almost funny because you can almost picture John the Baptist in the middle of the wilderness declaring things of God, while someone else would be panicking because they're lost in the wilderness. You know, that understanding of that, it's really mind-blowing to me that it's symbolic and the embodiment of your message, because, like, there we are crying out in the wilderness, but that message can be squelched if an individual is too concerned with the world. You see what I'm saying?
I do. That's a very, very powerful point, and you're right about that. But I have noticed, though, and you're right, a few people, men and women, we had our, and the reason I keep saying this because it's really fascinating or blessing. I can't find the right word. When I hear men and women that hear the truth, and they like, and some say, no, that's crazy, but then they think about it, and once they start pondering it, it makes sense to them, and so they wake up to that truth. And that's what happened with John. There was some men and women who heard it, and they received it, but then others who heard it, they thought he was a lunatic.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, incredible.
Incredible.
I hear you. I hear you. What you say sometimes, that you can hardly put words on it. You know
amazing.
What I'm saying?
And amazing. Yeah. Well, Kevin, stay with it. Stay with. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yes, sir.
Well, stay
every
with
morning,
it, man.
Every night.
Stay with it. Stay with it.
Oh, thanks so much.
Right.
I definitely will.
All right, call me again, man.
Definitely. Have a good one, everyone.
You too, buddy. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Claudia, a first-time call out of Montana. Montana. Claudia, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hey, Claudia.
Hi.
I had an aunt named Claudia. She did.
Awesome. I wanted to answer the biblical question.
To whom or what are you loyal, and why?
So, this is like the first biblical question that I tried to answer, and at first I thought it was really hard to come up with the answer, but then I thought about it, and I thought that I should be loyal to, like, God or my soul, or if I was married, my husband. But in reality, I think I'm loyal to my doubt and my fear and my worry.
Interesting. And
yeah.
And do you have? Can you give me an example of you being loyal to your doubt, your fear, your worries?
Like, I want to love people, and I want to be open to life, but I'll allow myself to get frustrated or scared or anxious or even angry. And I think that power hold it has on me just shows that I'm loyal to that, and I'm trying to overcome it, and I hope I will.
And what are you doing to overcome it?
I'm doing the silent prayer, and I forgive my parents.
How did that go when you went to your mother?
I was shaking like I am right now. And I feel like I wasn't really that present because it was such a weird experience for me, but I said the words and I think I felt free after it, but after I forgave her, I've been doubting if I did it right. But I think, like, I did forgive her in my heart and I told her in words, so I hope that was sufficient.
Yeah.
But yeah, she got defensive. I don't think she really understood. She told me that, well, then I'll forgive you too, or something like that.
Oh, God. Here's what I highly, highly recommend, Claudia. This thing that's telling you that you didn't do it, that you didn't do it right, it didn't happen, that's a lie. Let those thoughts pass, because that is the spirit of evil that made a home in your imagination and feelings. And it doesn't want to depart from you. So let that pass. Is not true. All thoughts, except practical thoughts about what type of car you want and what you want to have for dinner. But all thoughts are lies, so don't pay any attention to that. It's lying to you.
Okay, yeah. Like, I've been doubting it, but as I told you, I felt like, it wasn't true either.
Yes.
And then I did forgive my father, and that was really cool because I haven't been that close to my father, like, emotionally, but that was, like, a really beautiful talk.
Yeah.
It's kind of mind-blowing, actually. Yeah, it was cool.
There is nothing like returning to the Father. That's what every human being, man, woman, and child, are yearning for, is a return to the Father. It ain't about how much money you have or don't have. It's not about how many friends you have or don't have. It's not about the type of job you have or don't have. It's not about being married or not being married. It's not about being a drug addict or alcoholic. It's about a return to the Father.
But you mean like a mental return? Because I live overseas. I'm from Sweden, and I live in Montana.
Right. No,
but I feel like of the heart I return to him, but I'm obviously not there.
I am talking about 100% of the heart.
Okay, cool.
100% of the heart.
Yeah, because that's another thing I think about, like, guilt. That I don't feel guilt about leaving my father, but I feel guilt about leaving my mother, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, don't feel guilty about that either. That's another setup from hell. You are not guilty of anything. And so when the thought and feeling of guilt come, just know it's just another idea. It's another false identity. That's not you feeling guilty about anything. And the only reason this false identity is there because your mother made you feel guilty when you became angry at her as a child. The false identity of guilt is there, but it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah. If I ever have kids, I really hope that I won't be like that.
Well, if you continue to work on yourself as you're working on yourself now, overcoming this false self, there will be no way that you can do that to your children. You will only pass on love to your children because you will be of love. You will no longer be of anger. You will only be of love, and there would be no other choice but to pass on love.
Wow, that's really powerful. Yeah.
Because your nature is changing from anger to love. You're overcoming that old nature of hate, and you're taking on a new nature, which is of love, which is the nature of God. So you would only have love. You won't even try to have it. You just have it. It'll be who you are.
But I still feel like I'm not fully there. And I guess I just need to relax and just keeping with it, because I do see myself having these evil things at times come up.
Right. And when you see them, that's all you have to do, because it's not you. And don't tell yourself, I don't feel like I'm there. I don't feel there. That's another lie from evil. It's not you. And being there, when you're there, there's no thinking about being there. There's no thinking There's no thinking in there. You are home. And once you're home, you don't have to think about being home.
But something just came to mind with the silent prayer. Like, I don't want to take up too much time, but this is just such a good conversation. I sometimes when I do it, I just feel like so, like it just feels so good to like connect to my like spirit or God, or I don't know what's happening, but when I go on with my day, I think back to it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss that like space. And it's so nice because I think I've been running away from being still for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's what every human being are running away. They are running away from God by staying busy. And the world tells them, you need to be busy. The family tells them, if you're not busy, you're lazy, you have nothing going on, you're no good. And they're promoting evil and don't realize it, but you don't want to be busy. You want to slow down and let the truth catch up with you. And I know exactly what you mean, so here's what I recommend. Like during the day, when you catch yourself caught up in your thoughts again, thinking about the past or the future or whatever, just slow down and become aware of your body. Your body's in the present, and you'll be fine. Practice keeping your mind where your body is during the day.
Yeah.
And you will always be present. You will always be home. And there's nothing like being home. It's amazing.
Yes, it is. And with the people around me, like, I should just lead by example and not bring it up to them? Like,
only if they ask.
Okay.
If they ask you, you know what, Claudia, there's something different about you. You seem to be at peace. What happened? Then you can tell them, you can point them back to the Father. But if they don't ask, don't impose it on them, because it'll be like throwing pearls to swines.
Right.
They're not ready for it.
I've been secretive about it, but sometimes I'm like, it would be. But I feel like it sounds crazy, so I just don't want to tell anyone.
Right. Some people, most people, to be honest, when they find the truth, they go out just blabbermouthing to everybody, and they're doing it for the thrill of it. They're doing it because they want people to think they got it, they're home, they know God, and they get thrill from. It's like the Bible thumpers. Bible thumpers get thrill from preaching the Bible to everybody. They doing it for the ego, the thrill of it, not because it's real.
Yeah, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have gotten the thrills from that because that makes me cringe.
Well, even a cringe is a thrill.
Right. Oh, interesting.
Claudia, it's been amazing talking to you. Call me again.
Oh my gosh, I loved it. I will. Have a good day.
All right, and stay with it, and doubt all thoughts. Just let them pass.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Jesse.
All right, take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye now. Amazing. When I come back, more of your phone calls and your super chats, and I have some more amazing stories too. 1 more hour to go, a Bible Thumping Thursday. Hake news is coming out. The Hake news. Not the fake news. I wonder what kind of shirt he's wearing today. What is Hake wearing today? And Hake has a guest today on his show. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
There's a new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, a Republican rhino. Is he a rhino? Seems like a rhino a bit. But a pro-Trump rhino, I guess. From Louisiana. Seems lame, but he got Trump's okay. Scholastic caves to the LGBT BLM agenda, but that's not enough for them. They're never happy. And Japan has trans mess, too. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Bible Thumper Thursday, October 26th, 2023 AD. The lines are full. JLP will be right back to you guys. But first, Hake news, not fake news. The lame-o House Speaker coming on Sense Network, CNN, and the far-left females at the Skim report. Who's stepping up? House Speaker Mike Johnson is a Republican from Louisiana. Yesterday, the lesser-known lawmaker catapulted into stardom after Republicans unanimously voted for the Louisiana Republican to become the House's 56th Speaker. 220 votes, no Republican defections. The House GOP kept rejecting nominees, as you may know. Tom Emmer from Minnesota, Jim Jordan from Ohio, Steve Scalise from Louisiana. Now, 3 weeks after ousting Kevin McCarthy, the rhino from Bakersfield, California, the Skim calls Johnson a deep conservative with President Trump's blessing. Mike Johnson wanted to overturn the 2020 election shenanigans. He opposed so-called same-sex marriage, and he backed a nationwide abortion restriction. Nice. Seems par for the course. That should be basic. I think he's already supported, though, the U.S. meddling in the Middle East. Hopefully not Ukraine. I don't know. And unfortunately, I doubt we'll get a government shutdown, but we'll see, right? And Scholastic, evil, weak Scholastic. You guys familiar with them? The educational company, so-called, according to the far-left females at the Skim and Common Nonsense Network, they ended a policy that would have allowed schools to opt in or out of selling a collection of books focused on topics like race and dirty so-called sexuality. Scholastic holds about 120,000 book fairs every year, and they included 64 titles in that collection called Share Every Story, Celebrate Every Voice. Some books included the biography of affirmative action Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Onyeka Brown Jackson, and a novel about a Lakota American Indian girl, I think. The evil company said that the collection was needed in order to address book bans, which Republicans are trying to keep the stuff clean for the kids, right? And less hateful and less vulgar. But they have been enacted and are pending in some cases in about 30 states or more. However, many educators and authors called out Scholastic for caving to censorship. Now, Scholastic said they will not offer those 64 book titles in the book fairs next year. And they're looking to find a better way to combat the book bans. So they're caught in the middle. We understand now, this is a quote from Scholastic, that the separate nature of the collection has caused confusion and feelings of exclusion. They're a leading publisher of children's books, issuing a statement Wednesday after reversing their decision to make the books on race and LGBTQ issues optional at elementary school book fairs. So sick, huh? Company's decision to offer diverse books in a separate and optional collection faced widespread backlash online. Probably from both sides, honestly. What a mess. Japan dealing with trans madness, sterilization surgery specifically. Yesterday, Japan's so-called Supreme Court, or their top court, ruled it unconstitutional for the government to require so-called transgender people to get sterilization surgery before legally changing their so-called gender identity, misidentity. The World Health Organization, evil part of the UN, said Japan is one of 18 countries to require sterilization surgery for anyone who wants to change their so-called gender identity. Before someone in Japan is allowed to change their so-called gender, they're required under law to show proof of a gender dysphoria diagnosis and meet 5 other requirements. Why do you even work with these people? The court didn't rule if transgender people must have transition surgery before being allowed to legally register as the gender that they identify. What a mess, huh? So confusing. The issue could be up next on the docket. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Bible Thumper Thursday, Hour 3.
Men have got to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question: to whom or what are you loyal, and why? To whom or what are you loyal, and why? Amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad. If you're not able to sit and watch it live, you can podcast it. But you can be listening while you're doing what you're doing, by calling a listen line on 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. All right, and don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, and follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP, JLP Talk on Twitter, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Or you can go to rebuildingtheman.com, or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's the third hour of the show today. Every Thursday is Bible Thumping Thursday. So it is Bible. This is Trump. It is. Let me see what the Great White Hope has to say right now.
I love the First Amendment. Nobody loves it better than me. Nobody. Who uses it more than I do?
Deep. He said it's going to take Jesus to come back here and fix this problem. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of two pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't... They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George, God?
Holy mackerel. I can't believe you people follow a man. Amazing. Only follow God. Don't follow the crowd. You're going to end up in the ditch. Do not be afraid to stand alone. And above all things, above all getting understanding. Proverbs 2. Bible Thumper. Proverbs 2. For the Lord giveth wisdom and understanding. Lord, know that that's true. You can only get knowledge from human beings. You get understanding from God, only God. For the Lord giveth wisdom and understanding. You will understand what is right and just and fair, every good path. Wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men and women. Well, men mean men and women. Remember there was a time when you didn't have to say man and woman. It was understood. It was men and women. Wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men, from men whose words are perverse. From men whose words are perverse, who have left the straight path to walk in dark ways. That's deep. Who have left the straight path to walk in dark ways. And that's every human being until they wake up. They have left the straight path and walk in dark ways. Who delight in doing wrong and rejoice in evil. They have left the straight path and taken on the dark walk. They delight in doing wrong and rejoice in evil. I rest my case. They love their hell. They love it. Look at the thrill that people get when they're gossiping, when they think that they're hurting someone else, when they try to get revenge, when they are angry, when they are judgmental, when they are drunk, when they are killing one another, when they are murdering one another. There's a thrill. They rejoice in doing evil. When they are trying to hurt someone, they're rejoicing in doing evil. And the one that listens to the evil is rejoicing in it as well. They love evil. Our battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil. And you're going to only get wisdom and understanding about it when you be still, let go, and know the Father. When you return to the Father. It's not coming any other way. The world, people with degrees, the world will always lead you back into hell, back into the world. Back into the world. The world, even the Bible thumper world will lead you back into the world. Bible thumpers lead you right into hell. They don't lead you into heaven. They only have the knowledge of good and evil, and the knowledge of good and evil is evil. Adam only had the knowledge of good. Eve only had the knowledge of good until Eve believed the serpent, and the serpent became her God. And Adam believed the woman, and the woman became his God, and they became aware of knowledge of good and evil. They were evil. And that's what's going on today. Fear not evil. It has no power. It has been defeated. And there are so many people who are afraid of evil. They rejoice and they delight in doing evil. Proverbs 2, I'm not making that up. If you see yourself, pay attention to you, and see the thrill that you get from evil. When you judge yourself, that's a thrill. When you judge others, that's a thrill. That's evil. When you judge yourself, it's evil. When you're quoting the scriptures and you get a thrill, that's evil. When you pretend you love everybody, that's evil. When the blacks hate the whites, and the whites hate the Jews, and the Jews with the Palestine with whomever else they hate, when it goes on and on, that's a thrill. Those are evil. You're rejoicing in evil. When you attack one another, you're rejoicing in evil. When you don't lay your weapon down, and the reason you're not laying your weapon down and giving up the fight, you're going to lose the thrill. You're like, what the? I ain't laying my weapon down. What do you mean? You got to fight. No, you don't. Practical fight in a physical sense when you got to take care of yourself, protect yourself. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about who you really are. And woe unto those who celebrate evil. Our world today, my country, America, is about evil now. Anger has been called good. The Christian call anger good. And in their blindness, they say Jesus was angry. And the devil deceived them to justify it, to keep them in their hell. Chat want to know, how has evil been defeated if it's still here? It's been defeated because it lives in your imagination and emotion, and it makes you think it has power, and it don't. If you can see that it has no power, it has no power. But if you believe it has power, it can make you do crazy things. And it is here, but it doesn't have to be in you. It's in the world, but it doesn't have to be in your world. You are your world. You're not of the world. We are not the world. You are your world. And whatever you allow into your world, that's what's going to dwell there. If you take charge of your world, then you'll be fine. And the hell will be around you, inside of others, and you will be living in the world, and you will not be of it. It'll be amazing. Woe unto those who celebrate evil. Watch this from Post-Millennial. 2 teenagers accused of murdering a retired police officer appeared in a Las Vegas courtroom again on Tuesday. And we told you about this story. Ayala, and Keys allegedly struck a retired police chief while he rode his bicycle. While sitting before the judge, 18-year-old Jesus Alaya and 60-year-old Jasmine Keys were caught smiling and laughing. Watch this on CBS.
Jesus Ayala and Jameer Keys smiling at the widow and daughter of Andy Probst as they leave the courtroom Tuesday. The teens are accused of intentionally hitting the 64-year-old retired California police chief. They're charged with murder and additional felonies in connection with an August 14th crime spree. Police say they also hit this 72-year-old cyclist that morning. He survived. The teens appear to communicate with each other, at times covering their faces and also laughing.
What did you see them doing? They were flipping us off. I would say about 3 or 4 different times. They flipped us off, flipping each other off, joking around with each other, definitely not taking anything serious whatsoever.
On Monday, we obtained police body camera video showing the moment after Ayala was taken into custody.
You think this juvenile gonna do something? I'll be out in like 30 days. What?
Wow. He said you'll be out in 30 days. That's your government for you. I want you to focus. Look how the government has changed everything. They unleash evil, and they are putting good in prisons, in your own home, on your streets, at your businesses, everywhere. That's evil. Woe unto the man or the woman who call good evil and evil good. I got 2 more examples I want to give you of evil. Remember, I say that when you turn 18, you got to get away from mama. Every male and every female, everyone, hate their mother and yearn for the father. The anger that you have inside is coming from your mother. The hell is coming up through her because Satan is the woman's God and God above is the man's God. So when you forgive mama, you return to the Father, you'll be fine. But most people won't forgive mama, and mama ain't going to let you forgive her. And it's not her, but it's the spirit of evil that made a home in her. You become like what you hate. You take on the same spirit that mama has. And when mama tell you, oh, don't move, stay here with mama and save money, that's an invitation to stay into hell. And the longer you stay there, the more hell you grow into. To the point that you can kill mama or whatever. You hate her. You hate that spirit of mama that's in you. I urge you to forgive mama, and when you turn 18, and no later than 19, get out of there and go and deal with life. You have the spirit in you to deal with life, and you grow spiritually when you deal with the issues of life. You do not grow staying in hell with mama. And I got more proof of that from Wikipedia of why you should move out from under mama. Mama don't love you. My mama don't like you. She likes everyone. Mama love no one. Mama will build an army against you and destroy you, or at least try. Wikipedia, Ed Kemper is an American serial killer who murdered 8 people, including his own mother and grandma. Kemper was nicknamed the co-ed killer, as most of his victims were female college students. Watch this from True Crime magazine.
College girls began to disappear while hitchhiking. 2 of the victims were picked up from the campus of the University of California at Santa Cruz. That's where Ed Kemper's mother was working as an administrative assistant.
You were involved in the campus because your mother worked there?
Yes. I was also involved in killing co-eds because my mother was associated with college work, college co-eds, women, and had had a very strong and violently outspoken position on men for much of my upbringing. They represented not what my mother was, but what she liked, what she coveted, what was important to her, and I was destroying it. Mother was a sick, angry, hungry, and very sad woman. I hated her, but I wanted to love my mother. And this craving, this awful, raging, eating feeling inside, I could feel it consuming my insides. It was overwhelming me. It was like drugs. It was like alcohol. A little isn't enough. At first it is. And as you adjust to that psychologically and physically, you take more and more and more. I can't get away from her. We're still fighting. She's still belittling me. I'm like a puppet on a string, and I entertain her. She knows all my buttons, and I dance like a puppet.
Your grandmother and her daughter-in-law, your mother, were 2 women very important in your life, and you killed them both.
And they were both aggressive, matriarchal women. They'd been the daughters of strong, matriarchal women. I still loved my mother, and it's hard for somebody to comprehend that you murder your mother through love. It isn't a rational process.
I rest my case. Now do you believe me when I say the hell come through the woman? Every woman has the same spirit until they're born of the Father. And this is what destroying all races of children. It's no different. It doesn't matter if you Jewish, Gentile, Baptist, Catholic, red, white, blue, black, orange, whatever color you might be, how rich or poor, you must be born again of the Father. That spirit of the mother will destroy you. And she can't help it. It's not her, but this thing controls her. And she passed it on to her children. And this is why mothers of these men children can destroy the children by taking the children to court, keeping them from the Father, because they have nothing but hate. They don't have love. Women do not have love. And that man said he loved his mother. He didn't love her. He hated her, but he called it love because he didn't understand that emotion. That's the spirit of every woman. That's what's happening in this country, that country, the country over yonder, the country over there. It's the same spirit around the world. It's not you. It's that thing that made a home in you. And when I've told you that women are evil, I ain't playing. I'm not making it up. I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm telling you what's going on so that you can see and wake up and you can start a new generation of love instead of hate. If you return to love, you're going to pass on to your children, should you have children, love. It won't be your nature. You will have a brand new nature. It's not enough to go down to the front of the church and accept Jesus. You ain't accept nothing. It's just an idea. It's just a thought. But your own nature is still the same. And this man that confessed to killing his mama, that's every human being. Kemper, that's in every male and every female. It's in everybody that has anger. Trust no man or woman of anger. An angry person is a murderer in so many different ways. I'm not making this up. I'm telling you because you need to understand you are possessed. I want to give you one last quick example of evil. This is pure evil. And when you laugh and celebrate this, you're celebrating evil because you're evil. And the thrill of it is what you love. Evil people love thrills. I want you to pay attention to yourself for one day, 1 hour, and see how much you love thrill. And when you don't have the thrills, you're like, who am I? Where am I? I'm not myself. And you go and find a thrill. I rest my case. It's the mama. It's not through the father. It's through the mama. Satan is the woman's God, and God is the man's God. But until you're born again, the woman is the man's God. Because when Adam believed the woman, she became his God. And when the woman believed the devil became her God. And that's why women are subject to evil and men are subject to women. And they can't leave the woman until they overcome the woman by overcoming mama. Men and women. It's up to you. Stay in your hell. I'm still going to eat candy yams, sweet potatoes, collard greens, cornbread, ham hocks, liver and onions. Oh, man. Have you had any liver and onions lately? Oh, God. Ain't nothing wrong with a little liver and onions. One last example for now of evil. And in my country today, there's no justice. No justice, because even letting out, loosen evil into my country, there's no justice for evil. And these people hate good. A perfect example of evil. But I hope and believe, truly believe that this person is going to come out a better person because he knows how to deal with the issues of life. This is from post-millennium. Owen Shroyer was sentenced earlier this month to 60 days in federal prison over alleged crimes that transpired on January 6th. He is now being held in solitary confinement. I'm sorry, what you asked me? No, he didn't murder anyone. I'm sorry, what you say? Huh? No, he didn't rape anyone. Huh? No, he didn't burn the country down. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little old, I can't hear. No, He didn't steal people, burn down people's property. No, he didn't snatch and grab. No, he didn't participate in a riot that destroyed the country with Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry? No life was taken. But he gets solitary confinement. Prosecution previously wrote, Shroyer did not step foot inside the Capitol. He did not need to. Many of those who listened to him did instead. Watch this from X.
Owen Shroyer here, and I am about to turn myself in to be a speech prisoner in Biden's America. Unfortunately, we knew that things would get this bad. Unfortunately, we knew the Democrats were this corrupt. But the U.S. government is arguing that it's illegal for me to say 1776 in Washington, D.C. Don't believe me? Check the U.S. government sentencing memo for yourself. They said that me chanting 1776 in Washington, D.C. is worthy of 60 days in prison. I want to say this. I'm going to be there for 60 days. And in those 60 days, I'm going to find a way to better myself. I'm going to find a way to come out stronger. I'm going to come out wiser. I'm going to come out bolder. I'm going to come out more focused. So for 60 days while I'm in there, I'm going to try to improve myself and become a better person. And so I offer you this challenge. For the 60 days that I'm away, from the next time that you see my face and hear my voice, I challenge you to become a better person. Use this 60 days while I'm away to improve yourself. If I can improve myself in there, then you can certainly improve yourself out here. Godspeed and God bless.
Amazing. You don't have to worry about men like that. They take a challenge, an issue, and overcome it. Not become bitter, but better. They're taking a decent man and trying to destroy him. That's evil. And they are rejoicing at doing it because they rejoice in evil. You can still find updates from Owen on X at Owen Shroyer, Shroyer, 1776. You can keep up with him. Does he look like a victim? Does he sound like a victim? Even though injustice is being brought upon him? And you can also write to Owen at X photo. Oh, Hassan, again, let me see that.
Yeah, you can write to Owen at Jonathan Owen Shroyer at the Federal Correctional Institution in Oakdale, Louisiana, I believe that is.
Amazing. P.O. Box 5000, Oakdale, Louisiana, 71463. Amazing, huh?
Salute, Owen.
A good man. You gotta do what you want, but you must overcome evil with good. Don't get angry. Don't get bitter, but overcome. And you can. And you will be made perfect. And you will have perfect peace. Because it's not happening to you. It's happening to this false identity that you think is you. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. And you're not your body. When I come back, your phone calls and super chat and the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true. It's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. So real fast, the Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour from 9 to 11, the Hake report. And then at 12 noon today, the American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. And don't forget to podcast Joel Friday TV. He had an amazing show this last Tuesday. He's here every Tuesday, Joel Friday TV. All right, check it out. He's black, better known as Arkansas. Here's a little information from Wikipedia about Kemper. Kemper had a close relationship with his father. We played that soundbite earlier. He had a close relationship with his father and was devastated when his parents divorced. He was sent to live with his mother, an alcoholic who frequently belittled, humiliated, and abused him. Amazing, huh? That evil is coming through the woman, y'all. And it's not her, but it's that spirit that been passed on to woman to woman to woman since Eve. It's the Eve spirit, which is of the devil. So, and then at 12 noon tomorrow, we have a brand new episode of The Fallen States. A brand new episode. Kosher Deal, he is a Jewish rapper and entertainer, best known for his appearance on MTV's Wild and Out.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Can you give me an example of Jewish rapping?
Schmooze and bottles of bubbly. I know you love me. Jewish kids really appreciate black culture. My mother's family was killed in the Holocaust. My father's family was killed in the Holocaust. Bigotry and hatred are diseases. Sort of grow like a cancer.
Do you love white people?
Huh? Oh wait, I couldn't hear. Sorry.
Or do you support the Great White Hope?
If he went to jail, would you visit him?
I pick cotton for him.
What you gotta do, man? I don't know.
You put on your little Jew hat.
I have an interesting shaped head.
Oh. Amazing. We're going to get rid of static noise or else. Well, sorry about that. I don't like that at all. So one last quick thing, and then your phone calls and your super chats. And this is to men like the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, Owen Shroyer, some of the women that I've met who have overcome the fallen state and are overcoming it, and those who are dealing with the issues of life in the right way, they're getting better, not bitter. This is for you. This is for you. And this is the New Testament. This is for all who will receive it and overcome the Old Testament. If you would do this, you will be a man, you will be a woman. Watch this.
If, by Rudyard Kipling, If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but are none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
If, by RuPaul, what's his name? What?
Rudyard Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling. I'm telling you, folks, if you overcome that fallen state and see who you really are, you can deal with the issues of life. That's to you, Owen, my friend. And to you, the great white hope, and to those women who overcome it. I do know some. Not no hearsay, I know say. I know say. And for each and every person that's watching this show and listening to it and will listen to it, you drop your anger, you'll be an if person. It's a battle between good and evil. It's not physical. It's a waste of time to think that it's physical. You're blinded. Stop blaming others and watch what's going on with you. It'll be amazing. Let's do super chats real fast and then the phone call. Super chat. Super.
Gregatron bought a coffee.
Just think about that. Owen is in solitary confinement, not just in jail. Smoke on that one. In the United States of America. Anyway, not in Russia, not in China. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The rap group D12 has a song called Loyalty. It's about friendship/family. Hassan and Joel might know about it. Says Gregatron with the coffee.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Another coffee from Gregatron. Jesse, I know you say all ideas are from hell, but I have an idea. Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. Wednesday, Third Hour's Manhood Hour. Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday. Friday is Open Line Friday. Monday should be Beta Male Monday. Say it with me. Every Monday we set aside a little bit more time for the beta males.
Amazing.
In the opening, y'all can play the beta male song.
That sounds like an amazing idea. I'll smoke on it. Thank you.
Being enlightened till I rise, 12 coffees. Morning, gentlemen. I was just watching the show while shooting the missiles with Hamas wearing the Save Israel, Jews First t-shirt. I couldn't choose, so I picked both. BQ answer, biblical question answer.
To whom or what are you loyal and why?
When I realized the only one I've truly been loyal to are my thoughts. Jesse, I've been loyal to my daddy, the devil. What a mess. Not by choice, of course. It's all I knew. I am truly subject to this loyalty to the thought/devil within me, which caused my so-called loyalty to the devil within others. It's the overcoming of the idea of loyalty that has truly shown me how family and friends are just false ideas and setups. Sorry for the long response to this question. had my spirit steaming. Triple exclamation mark.
Thank you, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
Ravender bought 12 coffees. I have become the welcome mat for Jesse. He wiped his feet on this mat. I collected the dirt that came off his feet. Therefore, I have become the welcome mat for the Lord's feet.
Amazing. Thank you.
Lloyd Goodhair bought you a coffee, not Hake, not to be confused with Hake. I am a loyal listener to the JLP show because it is the best show on this side of heaven. Love you guys. Thank God for this show.
Thank you. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Hannes O'Callahan bought a coffee. God bless Jesse and crew. Yesterday I asked a woman at work out. We seemed to get along really well, and I thought she was interested. She said no, she doesn't date coworkers, and I said that's fine. I was afraid to ask, and it was building up in fear as I got closer to asking her out. I'm glad I did it anyway because now the devil is having a fit. I realize now that the devil is afraid of me asking a woman out because then I might see him. I can see now how in the past the devil would influence me in interacting with women. It would tell me, oh, this is what she thinks. She means this. You shouldn't do this because she would think this about you. I see how much of what I thought in me was me in reactions of and opinions and feelings is not me. I can see how my past relationships happened not for me, but for the demon in the woman to satisfy the demon in me.
Wow, that's deep. Stay with it. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets clearer and clearer. Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Robert Card was on the FBI watch list, but they were too busy looking for grandmas at the Capitol.
Amazing.
I wonder if that's the person of interest from the Maine mass shooting.
I think so.
Greg,
Thank you.
Games for Iraq with the diamond. Proverbs 16:9 had me thinking of Jesse. What the?
Thank you.
The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. English Standard Version, Proverbs 16:9. Thank you.
That is so true, folks. Really. Amazing. Thank you.
Potleaf donated a diamond saying, amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Mr. Pink Coffee answered it to the biblical question.
To whom or what are you loyal and why?
I am loyal to God and God alone. Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God.
The power of love. The power of love. Amazing. Thank you.
Zuzu CC on Jesse. Ain't nobody's business if I do.
If I decide to take the notion and jump in the ocean, ain't nobody business if I do.
Musical notes emoji. Hassan Yeezy's dog was cute. Dog emoji with tongue sticking out. Yeezy was right. You can't talk bad about Muslim Prophet Muhammad or draw a picture. They will kill you. LOL. Lots of laughs. But it's okay to say or do anything about Jesus.
What about Jesus? It's all in the name. Thank you.
Canadian David, trying isn't doing, he says in a Rumble rant.
You got to know how to rumble. You got to do it.
Evil is still real with the Rumble rant. So amazing reading the chat during that drunk caller, Jason from Canada. Everyone listening to the show either needs the same help or has nothing better to do with their messed up life, he says a different word, than to listen to the show for no reason.
People love the thrill, and so they get thrills when they hear that other people are hurting, trying to overcome. They get a thrill of it because they're into thrills about their own life. They're evil. Amazing. Thank you.
The Key bought 5 coffees. I am, quote unquote, I guess this is an answer to the biblical question.
To whom or what are you loyal and why?
I am, quote unquote, loyal to the none other than the truth, quote unquote, because it's been the light to my feet and the guide on the narrow path. Truth set me free.
And the truth shall make you free. Thank you. I'll respond on Sunday.
Marcus Coffee, and I quote, my granddaddy would have beat me, my grandma, the cat, the dog, all at the same time. LOL. Triple laughing face emoji with tears. Amazing.
You told Hoppo to beat me all my life. I've been beat by men.
God bless everyone at the
Thank
Jesse
you.
Lee Peterson Show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Young. Hey, Jesse. Now I don't know who was flying the planes, but I've just found out from the Washington Post that 2 planes have collided at the Hobby Airport in Houston, Texas, after one took off without clearance. So if the pilots were black or foreigners, then that just proved your point, Jesse. This makes me not ever want to fly again until America stops hiring people that are not qualified.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I didn't. Hobby Airport.
I'm not aware of that, Mike, but that's amazing. We'll look into it. Thank you.
2 jets collide.
Today?
18 hours ago was the report.
Wow. Affirmative action at work. Unqualified people based on affirmative action running our country today. We got to stop there.
Okay.
And we'll finish the other Super Chats tomorrow. Thank you
Sounds
all
good.
so much. I want to get to some calls. Let me go to John out of Texas. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you for having me on, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
I called in yesterday regarding the whole mother situation, regarding if the mother was evil. And I was really thinking about it deeply, and I went on to forgive my mother, and I'm going to tell you the situation. As I was asking her for forgiveness for what she'd done to me, she started to cry a lot. She started to get real emotional, and she started to question me, like, what did she do wrong? And that just made me feel, like, very sad in a way. So I guess I'm asking, like, what should I do next? Because she's acting, like, very weird now.
Did you tell her I forgive you for what you've done to me? Or did you ask for forgiveness? You say you ask.
Well, I asked her, like, I told her that I forgive her.
Oh, okay.
For what she done to me.
Nice. And what you do now is move on with your life. Do the silent prayer. Forgive your father for not protecting you from her, because she's acting out. She knows exactly what you're talking about. It's just that she's not ready to change. She loves her hell. And so let her live in her hell. Don't feel sorry for her. Don't be sad for her. You just work on your life now, because she may love living in her hell. There's nothing you can do about it.
But that's the thing, like, she kept on questioning me, like, what did she do wrong? Like, she kept on asking me, like, even today in the morning, she was asking me, what did I do wrong?
Tell her everything.
What did I do wrong?
She turned you against your father. She imposed her will on you. You do the silent prayer so you can see what she did to you. And she recreated you, her image. But you see it, but don't have a long conversation with her about it, because she's trying to pull you back into her hell.
But that's the thing now, like, even now myself, like, I'm starting to feel a bit sad now. I'm starting to feel a bit anxious. I can't even look my mother in the eyes no more because of how sad she is, and her continuing to ask me, like, what did she do wrong? You know, it really is bothering me, because I don't know what she did wrong. You know, I just wanted to do the whole forgiveness thing that you were talking about, and
but so you don't.
I feel it made the things a bit worse than it was before.
You didn't see that you had anger toward her before you went and forgave?
I don't think I had anger towards her, but I still wanted to forgive her because that's the example you said, so I wanted to do that.
I know, but you need to see it for yourself before you do it, so that when she played this trick on you, you'll be able to deal with it. You need to, don't do it just because I said it. You do it because you're searching yourself, knowing thyself, and you can see for yourself if you have the anger or not.
Yeah.
Because
that's the thing. I don't feel I have anger. I don't feel I have anger towards her.
So she never did anything to irritate you?
The what?
She's never done anything to irritate you?
No, I don't think I think she's been a great mother, as I was explaining to you yesterday. Like, she's the one that took me to church. We read the Bible together.
But those are the worst ones.
Those are the worst ones.
Yeah, that's why you're feeling that emotional stuff. That emotional stuff you're feeling now is hate. It is not love.
So what should I do? Just do the silent prayer?
Yeah, do the silent prayer so you can see for yourself what's going on, all right? Watch those thoughts, and you will see for yourself. And once you see it for yourself, then you'll be free.
Should I get my mother to watch the Jesse Lee Peterson show, or should I just keep her away from it?
Only if you want to.
I'm thinking about showing it.
Only if you want to, but right now it sounds like you need to work on yourself so that you can see clearly how to help her, or if you can help her, because most people don't want help. They love their hell.
But that's the thing. Like, I'm afraid if I show her, like, your show, she's going to say that you're, like, brainwashing me. Like, you're taking me away from her. Like, I don't want that conflict of interest.
So you're concerned about how she feels rather than your own life.
Well, I don't want to cause, like, family issues, I guess. That's what I'm saying.
You already have family issues. You just have not been speaking up. You've been going along with it. Now you're overcoming it. But let's do this, John, because of time. I want you to call me back on Monday if you can, or the next time you can call. But for now, do the silent prayer and watch what you're thinking and feeling.
Okay. Thank you very much, then. I'll call you on Monday.
Yeah, make sure you do. But don't let all that emotion you're feeling is the nature of the woman. Oh, no, you could call me tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm thinking today is Friday.
Okay, I'll call Friday, tomorrow, and hopefully I even get her on the phone so she could speak to you, because I would love to see how that situation will work out.
Okay, that'll work.
All right, thank you very much. Bye.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Let me go to PJ out of Arizona. PJ, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Morning, Jesse.
Hey, PJ.
Hey, so I had a question, and I just wanted to get your insight. My grandfather, I got news. I think might have passed last night, and I got the news from my son, who hasn't been really talking to me, but has got probably the information through. Probably I'm thinking my mom. And I told him last night, I just told him whoever's trying to relay information to you through you to me, I told him just tell him to stop it. I told him to stop it. And I told him that, that I do love him. But I don't know if I'm going about it the right way. I'm trying not to be angry about it. I don't think I'm angry about it. But it's just something that I'm going through in my life right now that I'm not talking to my mother or really people from that side of the family. I'm just kind of handling stuff that I need to do. I'm not thinking about a funeral coming up, and I don't think I probably more than likely won't attend. But I know my grandfather probably would have understood what I'm going through right now. But it's just something I'm doing for me. But I just wanted to see what your insight was, and I don't know, is this the right way to be going about it?
The question for me, a quick and short question because of time, is what?
Am I going about this the right way as far as how I spoke to my son, or?
Are you doing the silent prayer, PJ?
Not every day.
And why not every day?
I don't want to give an excuse. I don't have an excuse.
Okay, do it every day, PJ, because the thoughts which are evil and lies, they're always trying to get in there to make you doubt yourself, to make you feel a certain way and identify with it. I would highly recommend you do the silent prayer, and then I would highly, highly recommend you stay away from anger, because when you stay away from anger, you're gonna always make the right decision. It would be impossible, and you would never doubt.
Okay.
And so I want you to do what you want to do at this point. If you don't want to go, don't go. If you don't want them communicating with you through your son, don't let them do it. Tell them not to. But you got to be you now so you can overcome the world.
Okay. I just need some insurance of that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, but just don't be angry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any anger yet.
Okay.
So.
Are you able to call me tomorrow?
Yeah.
Call me tomorrow. I have some questions about some things there.
Okay. Will do.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I am so out of time, folks. I really am out of time. Get on that straight and narrow. Travel alone. Don't be afraid. God is with you. All right. But you got to overcome the world. Return to the Father by forgiving your mother and forgiving your father. All right. And do the silent prayer. rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. And who is your guest, Hake?
Burns.
What?
Dylan Burns.
So Hake is coming up now, and Dylan Burns is his guest. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. I'll be back tomorrow, the Lord is willing, and the creek don't rise. Open line Friday. I like that suggestion about Monday. I'm going to smoke on it. Beta Male Day. Beta Male Monday. It rings a bell. So Hake coming up, and he has a guest. And to the callers, I'll be back tomorrow, the Lord is willing, and the creek don't rise. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
So you get something went wrong, but check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa. You must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Like my cousin sent me you, and I thank him for that. It was more of a, he thinks the whole everything's a joke. That just adds a little spice to it. But in the heart of what you're saying, there is real things going on. And people want to overlook that. And I'm telling you, Mr. Peterson, I'm not one of those people. And I thank God that, he showed you to me. And sometimes we just need some Jesse in our lives, I guess.
I wish we had more brothers like you. We need more brothers like you. Because we don't have most guys that can, lead black people into the right direction. And I thank you for that, because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. Yeah. And I try to tell them, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us, and all is well.
Thank you, JLP. And